grandma and her grandson looking for parking at Oshawa Center Shopping Mall.
Aye, Sonny, I told you we would never find an open, accessible parking spot. Wait, look at that car. It's parking in the spot and it doesn't have a permit. I fractured my poor little hip last year and I can't afford to walk the extra distance.
I can't believe so many people park in these accessible spots, even though seniors and people with disabilities like my grandma really need it. I wish there was a way to solve this problem.
Welcome to the Control Z Twitch live stream.
There are 700,000 accessible parking permits issued in Ontario today. Clearly, there's a need for accessible parking spots.
In Toronto, the police issue 16,000 tickets a year for the misuse of accessible parking spots. The problem we're addressing is accessibility. People without accessible parking permits are parking in designated spots and blocking access to those who require them. This prevents many seniors from leaving their homes and people with disabilities, leading to isolation and immobility.
We need a way to ensure accessible parking is available for those who need it.
Existing solutions include a projected image of a person on a wheelchair to discourage people from parking in the accessibility stalls, and a parking system that checks if the person in the vehicle is the same as the person on the photo in the database.
However, these would not work because there are an insufficient number of officers to ticket violators, and this problem is rampant and out of control. There are even more people parking illegally without being caught. These problems are so big that the Toronto Police have dedicated a task force just for the violation of accessible permits.
Introducing our solution, the Spot Saver.
The Spot Saver features a camera located on top of a post in front of an accessible parking spot to detect the presence of a valid permit and license plate. If detected, the Spot Saver will indicate this on a display screen and the green light will appear. If not detected, a message saying no valid permit and a red light will appear on the display screen. If the vehicle has to leave within 3 minutes, then the camera will record the license plate and the owner of the vehicle will be fined. The final version of our solution, the Spot Saver, has an installed cost of $5,620.
Our team met with 8 experts. Dr. Brenda Verklian, Professor of Rehabilitation Science from McMaster University,
Stated that it is critical that people with disabilities and seniors are able to drive, as they cannot walk, cycle, or use public transit. They need a way to ensure that accessible parking spots will be available.
Dr. John Zellick, Systems Design Engineering Professor from the University of Waterloo and Co-Director of the Vision Image Processing Lab.
Encouraged us to potentially use data collection to allow property owners to optimize the amount of accessibility stalls in the parking lots.
Kim Huntley and Ida Conte-Pitcher, managers of the North York Central Library.
Stated better accessibility for parking will encourage people with disabilities to leave their homes and visit the library more often.
Craig Lane, architect at HMCA Architecture in Vancouver.
Talks about making public spaces more accessible. Our solution encourages people with disabilities to get out of their houses and be more active.
William Wiles, parking hearing officer for the town of Whitby and parking operations supervisor for York University.
Told us that our solution serves 2 purposes. 1, it reminds seniors to display their parking permit. And 2, it deters those without parking permits to park in those designated spots.
Adamo Donatucci, Regional Vice President of Park Indigo Canada, told us that our solution helps to stop repeat offenders. He also said that his company, Indigo, the largest parking operators in the world, would install our solution in their parking lots. Next steps would be to make a weatherproof prototype of the Spot Saver and to commence discussions with the Ministry of Transportation about gaining access to the provincial database. Then we can beta test with Park Indigo.
People with disabilities and seniors are vital members of our community. They They deserve available accessible parking spots.
The Spot Saver will prevent people without accessibility permits from parking in those designated spots, while allowing people with disabilities and seniors to lead more active and meaningful lives.
Thanks for watching!
This concludes our presentation. Now we'll show a demonstration of the Spot Saver.